The Boxing Science Conference 2022 was a fantastic success. One of our key motivations for putting on the conference was to get some of the leading practitioners in boxing and combat sports to share their unique insights and knowledge of working with some of the best athletes in the world. This has always been important for us at Boxing Science, as we're always wanting to share knowledge and experience of working with these top level athletes to help impact the sport and better practice in boxing and combat sports. So we put on the conference, we invited any kind of personal trainers, strength and conditioning coaches, boxing coaches, technical coaches in mixed martial arts to come down to the Boxing Science Performance Centre and learn from these fantastic practitioners. And we were quite humbled with people travelling in from all over the UK and even travelling from Europe to come and see what we've got to say about boxing and combat sports. I'm sure that a lot of the attendees had a great time, took a lot of detailed and unique insights, and now are better equipped to help their athletes unlock their potential.
We did an overview of the injuries, looked at the upper limb injuries, particularly talking about the kinetics and the kinematics, fancy words, the forces and the movements that can make the injuries. We looked at the hands and wrists, we looked at the elbow, we looked at the shoulders. How can we break down those three joints for an assessment, if you're looking at strength or endurance, to try and find some deficiencies? And then with that in mind, what exercises can we do as part of the gym, where you're looking either as a prevention, an injury management, or just general conditioning in those areas, whether it is isolated or in compound movements, particularly thinking boxing specific. First of all, hopefully they took away some knowledge about why the injuries are happening in the different areas, some knowledge about how you could test in a reliable manner, but also that element of understanding, the quantitative part, the numbers. So what are those hidden gems when you look at a data sheet? And so for me, having the opportunity to actually deliver some knowledge around a brilliant sport like boxing to coaches and to strength and conditioning coaches, and bridge that medical and that sports science together, was really a great opportunity.
So really today was about giving the delegates the confidence to approach the next safely and confidently, to allow their fighters to be optimal around their training, but also reducing injury risks and maybe coming back from injuries, and reducing the risk of concussions. So we've gone through a process of assessment and understanding how to periodize and program neck training from the ground up, starting with general prep, how to train the deep neck flexors, how to train them in a safe way with good postural awareness, to then progressing right the way up the force velocity curve to maximal strength, done with a harness and done with various other forms of equipment such as the FK Pro. The Boxing Science, as I said earlier, it's a great movement. I think it's super positive because we're getting all of us together in one room to evolve the profession.
Today's delivery was on building a better athlete, so quite a broad overview, but just to give my take on all things high performance and what I think can drive performance forwards for the athletes. Yeah, it was the kind of the whys behind specific exercises, how to work as part of a cohesive team, how to monitor readiness as well to train. I think the recovery optimization is really important, especially in a sport like boxing where the guys and girls, train pretty damn hard. Yeah, hopefully there was some value in it for everyone here at the Boxing Science Conference. It's great to see everyone here trying to get that little bit better to drive performance forward in a sport that we care so much about.
Today's talk, I spoke about our process leading into Tokyo and how we prepared the athletes for the Olympics. Hopefully I challenged the coaches to kind of think about what it would be like stepping into an Olympic sport, dealing with a large group of boxers who could go through challenging times in the lead up to a games and be dynamic and reactive. Hopefully I've given the coaches a few philosophical points to be able to kind of anchor their practice to a little bit of confidence in terms of their own knowledge base, and then how they can go away and apply that to their own situations. This is fantastic. It's been a great day today. Like, the quality of speakers for me as a spectator has been class. The engagement through the group has been awesome, and just being able to pull the group together, have conversations on the ground in person.
Today I've delivered a presentation on advanced conditioning methods for boxing. This is really important, especially as boxers get towards the elite level, in that they're using contemporary and advanced conditioning methods to make sure they're getting as fit and as fast as possible. Throughout the presentation, I made sure that there were practical examples of different conditioning sessions. So there's probably about 10 to 12 different conditioning sessions, all supported with scientific evidence and all supported with practical examples of how best to implement them. So the Boxing Science Conference is really important for the boxing community because it allows us to bring in experts in fields from physiotherapy to nutrition, strength and conditioning, and really deliver practical examples of how boxers and coaches can improve their fitness.
We've got people here this evening to do a MIP test, a maximum inspiratory pressure test, to see how strong they are. So just like doing a single rep max test in the gym. What we've done then is set them a training load based on 50% of this single rep max to see how many breaths they could sustain at that intensity. And what we found was, because they haven't done this training before, A, didn't get as high a MIP as they might possibly be able to do, or definitely be able to do if they did more training, and B, when they actually did the training level, they started to fatigue after maybe 10 to 15 breaths. If they did the training, they would then be able to get a higher MIP, train at a higher intensity, and gradually iron out what is definitely a weak link in their overall training plan.
So today I presented the Fight Week nutrition, and basically what that entailed was looking at how certain strategies we can do on the week before a fight to lose some weight to optimise performance. I think it's important to make sure that we're looking at the health of our athletes and we've got their best interests at heart. There's a lot of scary situations which a lot of kind of professional boxers and combat sport athletes can go through on the week of a fight, so it's important that we educate the attendees to make sure that health and safety is at the forefront of our practice.
I went through a pretty extensive kind of number of considerations, everything from, the competition and how you define competition through to how you evaluate individuals and how does the body, absorb training, for want of a better term, and that is partly by changing systems and changing physiology and changing biology, and it's partly by nervous system activation in terms of skill acquisition and how the body learns new skills. So the Boxing Science Conference is really leading the way in helping kind of educate and disseminate information and bring a community together that are all interested in helping the fighters that they work with, but to do that in a really effective fashion.
That brings us to the end of the review for the Boxing Science Conference 2022. If you're watching this and you feel like you've missed out, don't worry, because you do still have a chance to learn from these workshops, as we're now launching the online version of the conference where you get the workshops in video format for you to keep forever. So you can learn from Ian Gatt, you can learn from Duncan French, and also from the Boxing Science team and the rest of the speakers. So visit the link in the description for more information, and also keep an eye out for the Boxing Science Conference 2023, where we're motivated to do an even bigger and better event. Okay guys, thank you very much. Hopefully see you at the Boxing Science Performance Centre very soon.